Welcome to my workshop. You are watching Casual DIY channel. In today's video, we're going to be making some really cool wall clocks, okay? Very unique designs. The designs will be for you to download for absolutely free. I'll let you know how to do it a bit later on in the video. Now, the materials I'm going to be using for the clocks we're going to make today, well, I've got some pallet wood boards, really nice and rich in features. So I'm hoping to create at least 2 panels of these, and I'll see which one I like the most. And then we're just going to be using plywood as well, just a simple and easy to get material. So either way, if you're going to choose pallet wood, normal wood, hardwood, pine, anything you want, or plywood sheets, you will still be able to make these really cool clocks. Now, the main machine to actually cut them all up from the pallet wood or from plywood will be this fantastic laser engraver and cutter from Longer. It's super powerful, and even that pallet wood will be no issue to cut through at all, but you'll see that later on in the video. Now, if you want to actually learn a little bit more about this machine, about its specs and what it can exactly do, then I've got you covered. I've got a separate video on that, so you can check it out, its performance and everything else. So I'm going to drop a link to that video in the description of this one just down below. But without further ado, let's sort out the pallet wood and make some panels. Now, these boards are not perfect and I like them the way they are, so I don't want to lose too much of the character from these boards. So I'm actually not gonna follow the protocol of how to properly mill these, and the gluing up stage and everything else. It's a little bit out of the whack, just to save as much features of the wood as I can. For the next step, I'm actually going to be using my 2 large bulky tools, the thickness planer and the jointer. Now, if you don't have those tools, don't worry, you can actually skip this step depending on what type of board you've got. Now, I do want to have a nice and straight back to these clocks so I can hang them quite easily. And obviously the inside edges that will be glued to create a panel, I want them to be straight as well, so I will have a nice and strong joint. However, to be absolutely honest with you, I don't really have to follow these steps, as even gluing boards like these that are not totally equal to each other, you'll still get a solid connection, and you're not going to be putting too much pressure on these, and they will be just hanging on your wall. So don't worry about this step too much. Right then, now it's time to glue up the panels. Both of the panels are now glued up. It's the next day. I've got a new shirt. And basically what I want to do is to clean them up so there's no splinters or anything like that. However, I don't want to remove too much of the features I've got in this wood. Now, I will be using my random orbital sander with a high grit, 120. Just slight light passes, again, not to remove too much of the features from the wood itself. Alright, so the 2 panels are now ready. However, the first thing I want to do is to create a world clock. You'll see that in just a moment, and I'm going to be using actually plywood to do that. The thickness of this is 6mm, so it's quite hefty. It should give us really nice results, and I want this clock to be hanging in my son's bedroom. And I think it is a very cool design. Now, this one I have not actually made myself. I've bought that on Etsy, and I'm going to leave a link to that as well, so you can go and have a look. If you like it, you can buy it as well, and it doesn't cost much at all. So I've tweaked the settings for my machine, and I'm just going to set up the focal point, which is super easy. Check this out. You do have a magnetic retractable foot, so just loosen the screw, take the foot down, lower the module, secure it in place, retract the foot, and we are ready to go. As the machine is now working, let me just tell you a couple of features about this laser. For example, the work area is quite large, larger than normal, 450 by 440 millimeters. The maximum engraving speed is 36,000 millimeters per minute. The laser spot size is 0.1 by 0.15. As I mentioned before, this laser is very powerful. It does have 40 watts of power. Now this machine is also packed with some really nice safety features. For example, the basics like the emergency stop button or the key lock. But also it has a fire alarm, tilt alarm. So for example, if your laser will be bumped accidentally, it will stop and let you know there's an issue. If the laser will stop in one place for too long, it will also let you know. It also comes with smart air assist system, so you can actually control it via the software, for example, light burn, but you also do have the ability to change the airflow directly from the unit itself. Okay, and check it out. It came out really interesting. Let's try to pull this out somehow. How cool is this? Oh, my son will love this. Absolutely fantastic. Just need to clean out the smaller pieces, pull it out. But yeah, as you can see, a powerful laser like the longer 40 watts, no issues at all. Beautiful quality. Right, let's start the other one. Now we're going to try the wooden one. And as you can see, even with 19mm pallet wood board, this laser has no issues at all. Everything will be cut out in a single pass. And check it out, we've got the first piece of our puzzle, and just to show you, this is 19mm in thickness in a single pass. Okay, right, I'm going to try to remove all those pieces carefully so I don't break it, because it is very thick and it's difficult to actually take this out. And I'm going to cut out the remaining pieces. These are from 3mm plywood now. Now this design, I've made it myself, so the files for that will be available for free. To download, the link to that will be below in the description of this video. And I think that's gonna look pretty damn cool. And this is the second clock I've made, and hopefully you will enjoy it as well and will give you a bit of inspiration. All right, this is the third clock that I've made. We've got 15.5mm in thickness, and everything was cut out in a single pass. So this one will be quite interesting as well, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna pop out all the bits and pieces here, and it will be ready for applying a bit of finish to it, I think. Okay, with everything more or less cut out, now it's time to add the final details. So for example, the clock with the bed, the mountains and the trees, I'm actually going to try to paint all the pieces. I'm not the greatest at that, so fingers crossed it will come out more or less okay. However, you can just stain these pieces to different colors, and that will give you a very cool look as well. Or you can just leave it at the plain color of your plywood. Okay, so this is my creation. As I said, I am definitely not the best at this. Potentially you've got some really cool talents, but yeah, that's what I managed to create. And I think it's still gonna look pretty damn cool. So what I'm gonna do now, just gonna use a bit of CA glue to connect all the pieces together. Just make sure everything aligns correctly. That's why I'm actually not using the activator. I just need that few seconds to make sure everything's nice and straight as it should be. Now, what I'm still debating in my head for this particular clock is just have that in the middle, like so. But I think what I'm actually going to do, the circle I've actually cut out, I think I'm going to glue it back. I've cut out a rectangle for the clock itself, and then on top of that I will add this. I think that looks actually better, to be fair, a little bit more interesting. So the best way I think is to leave the circle in, and I'm going to update the files for you guys, so you're going to have both options, okay, with the circles cut out and with the circle actually being the part of it, so you don't have to cut out. You just could glue this on top like so without no issues at all. So as I said, let's glue this on. And now I'm just going to put something heavy on top of this, giving a bit of time for the glue to set. Now, I really do like this clock in the shape of the map of the world. Absolutely fantastic idea here, guys. So I'm just going to add a bit of spray varnish to secure all my clocks. And check this one out. I think it looks absolutely fantastic as well. Super cool idea here, guys. Now, you can actually do a background if you want. You can cut out a circle and just do like a back for this. But for me, I think this looks pretty cool. However, this one, I don't actually have the clock mechanism for this one. I need to get another one. I thought I had 3, but I only found 2. So this one will have to wait until I order another clock. But that looks pretty damn cool as well. Now it's time to install the clock mechanisms, and I'm just using a bit of CA glue, okay? I think it will hold just fine. If you've got an issue with that, you can do a couple of things. I use epoxy, for example, or maybe you can build some sort of a box and attach it to the clock itself. However, I think this will be absolutely fine, as the dials that we're gonna be putting in now will add additional security to the whole thing, and I don't think there will be any issues with that. So yeah, I'm just putting the dials in, as you can see. And there we go, guys. We made a clock. Absolutely super cool, this one. And check this one as well. Just need to get another AA battery for this one. But it looks quite unique. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but definitely a unique and cool looking piece. And of course this one as well, super cool. I just need to get the clock module for this one. As you can see, imagination is the only limit here, guys, especially when you've got a great tool like this longer B1 with a fantastic 40-watt module. And as you've seen, it will cut even through thicker materials with no issues at all. Absolutely great machine at a reasonable price tag as well. If you want to find out a little bit more about this particular laser, I'm going to drop some links down below in the description of this video. I already made a few videos on it, so go ahead and check those out. However, if you are thinking in making jewelry, for example, or projects like that, Longer has developed a new laser that is red, which is perfect for those type of applications. I don't have that module yet, but it really intrigued me what they've got on their website. So let's quickly have a look at that module. All right, check this out. This is the Longer's website, and it's the Ruby Ultimate Pulsated Infrared laser module. Okay, so it will fit the frames of B1 and Ray 5, and it does have 20 watts. Now look at this laser spot size, 0.03 by 0.03 millimeters. Now that is tiny. You can really get some amazing detail with that, and it can engrave iron, brass, aluminium, gold, silver, titanium, and all those things, right? Absolutely perfect if you do want to branch out into jewelry or something like this. Really cool. And 850 dpi engraving, you can get some really good detail with that. So yeah, it is quite unique, something else I've not tried yet, but maybe that is something you are looking for. So I'm going to leave a link to this website down below in the description of my video. And these are the projects I wanted to share with you today in my video. I hope it brought you some inspiration, maybe an idea for a business opportunity. Now, these two designs, they are my own, and I'm going to share with you with the files for those absolutely for free. The link to those will be down below in the description of this video. This, however, the world map, I've bought that on Etsy, and I'm going to drop a link down below as well for you so you can check it out. And before you go, I've got some really cool playlists just over here, and maybe the next video you want to watch is on those. So hopefully I'll see you on one of my videos there. Take care.